I'd like to talk to you a little bit about how Coldwell Banker can help you. Well, first of all, let's take a look at the legacy and the network of the company. Coldwell Banker has a global presence with offices in over 46 countries and 3,500 offices worldwide. We've been in the real estate business for over 100 years, and in 2008 we participated in over $226 billion in sales volume globally. And we're the first company to offer full seller services guarantee, which puts our commitment to you in writing. Coldwell Banker has an award-winning website, which I invite you to take a look at coldwellbanker.ca. What's great about our website is, of course, it recognizes where you're logging on from, which, as you can see on my presentation here, it recognized that we were in the city of Cambridge and automatically populated that. Coldwell Banker is also very well known for its YouTube channel called On Location. On Location, you can view properties from all over the world, Canada, the United States, and abroad, as well as information on many different cities and locations that we do business in. But let's get right down to the brass tacks. There are three elements necessary in selling a property. Number one, of course, is price. Number two is exposure. And number three is having the proper systems in place in order to facilitate your listing through to the sales process. Let's talk about price. The value of your property is based on two main criteria: comparable homes that are on the market now, and then of course comparable homes that have recently sold. Now, one thing I want you to be clear on is that a real estate agent has no more control over the value of your home, just like the weatherman has no way of making it rainy or sunny. One of the things I want to caution you on is to not overprice your property unless you're willing to risk losing money. First of all, if your market value is indicating that it needs to be right here where I'm indicating, and you decide to price it higher and just decide to sort of chase the market, one thing that you'll notice is that the longer your home is on the market, the less likely it is going to sell, and more likely it's not going to sell for what is top dollar. Because what happens is properties tend to get shop worn. Nobody gets excited about a listing that's been on the market for 3, 4, 5 months. What they do get excited about is new listings. Now, there's two other elements that I want you to be very careful about here. Number one is, in a perfect world where I'm indicating with my cursor, if the market's just flat, you do run the risk of selling your property for less than market value. But if you're in a declining market, you run the risk of selling it for even far less than what you could have originally sold it for had you priced it properly. Because what ends up happening here is your value ends up chasing the market, and you could end up selling for far less than what you could have had you listed it properly from the beginning. In an increasing market, the privilege of being able to overprice your property could exist, provided the time is not something that's important to you. But in the market that we're in now, we are either at a flat market or even possibly in a declining market. So be very, very careful on how you price your property. Exposure to the marketplace. Let's talk about what we're going to do to tell the public that your home is for sale. Well, first of all, I'm very proud to say that Coldwell Banker uses a multi-screen approach to reach the new generation of buyers. You see, in today's day and age, and the internet is very important, but one thing that even more important is the current public's use of private data access systems, PDAs, such as Blackberries and iPhones. On average, we're having about 85,000 views a month in North America on our systems right now. What we would like to do is leverage the power of the internet. Coldwellbanker.ca had over 31 million viewers in 2008, and the average visitor spent 8 to 9 minutes on that site. 8 to 9 minutes on one site is a lifetime. And of course, having your home exposed on the multiple listing service, otherwise known as MLS.ca, is another very important element to expose your property. Not to mention our own local websites, which are MaximumResults.ca, as well as CambridgeHouses.com and KitchenerHouses.com. The information sources used to search a home these days has obviously become very strong in the internet arena. real estate agents still play a very big role in exposing your home to buyers. And of course, the traditional methods of yard signs, open houses, newspapers play a lesser role as the internet is really taking a front seat on exposure to the marketplace. When exposing your home to the internet, we want to make sure that it's exposed in various different sources. Of course, the 800-pound gorilla is realtor.ca. This is where real estate agents as well as the buying public have access to view the information on your home almost as soon as the property is listed. The other big trend these days is obviously social networking. Facebook and Twitter and YouTube have become a must in exposing your property. Kijiji and Craigslist are very popular local sites that we take advantage of to make sure that your home is in those sites so it doesn't get missed. And Google, Yahoo is something very important as well that you'll find us on. Cambridge Now is a local online newspaper that we use to expose your home in, as well as using, of course, traditional sources such as the real estate book. So as you can see, with the multitude of avenues that we expose your home to, thousands of home buyers will be able to see your property for sale. You will also receive exposure through my own website with a series of squeeze pages. Squeeze pages are sites that are specifically designed to capture the name, email address, and phone number of the visitor. So as you can see in these sections of my website, I give visitors several different areas for them to visit and request information, which requires them to fill in name, email address, in order for me to follow up in order to sell them the benefits of your property. My website is also equipped with many other tools that home buyers want, such as mortgage calculators, and we also offer money-saving coupons that buyers can use to help expedite the sale of your property. So for example here, you can see that we have a local home inspector that is offering a $50 coupon. One of the other elements that we're very proud of on our website is that we offer a discount section, which is in the left-hand menu of the website. This offers people different coupons and incentives to visit these businesses, and it also gives them another reason to come back to our website again and again and again, which can increase the exposure on your property. A guaranteed sale program. Here at Coldwell Banker, we're very proud to offer you a guaranteed sale program. This is a program where we can turn around and offer the buyer of your home a cash offer, enabling them to buy your home faster. There are some stipulations to this program, but we don't go beyond $300,000. So if your property is worth more than $300,000, the guaranteed program is not available to you. But the benefit is still there, because if somebody wants to buy your property that has a home to sell for less than $300,000, we can turn around and offer them the guaranteed sale program, which will cause the sale of your home to happen that much sooner. And of course, we employ many other traditional marketing methods, such as the for sale sign, just listed cards, and some traditional newspaper and print advertising. Let's talk a little bit about our systems. Once your listing is in place, we want to make sure that we have a step-by-step system that makes sure that your property is exposed and handled efficiently and quickly as possible. So as you can see, we have submissions to the MLS, we order for sale sign, we broadcast email to agents, we take pictures, we print them, we measure rooms, just listed cards, all of those things. The important thing I want to emphasize here is that we have a system in place in order to facilitate the successful sale of your property. But aside from all of that, here's the biggest reason that I think you should hire me as your salesperson, and that's experience. I'd like to show you a picture. I'm not sure if you recognize that individual or not, but that is Sully Sullenberger. That is the pilot that ended up having to land his U.S. Airways airplane in the Hudson just a few months ago. If Mr. Sullenberger was able to land that plane in the Hudson, and everybody survived emergency landing. Now, we all know what caused that plane to crash, and that was a flock of geese that interrupted his flight. But one thing I want you to consider, especially if you're a frequent flyer, is that turbulence can often cause a plane to go off track, or may cause a flight to be uncomfortable. And you want somebody with experience to make sure that the plane is properly handled. Well, a real estate transaction is very, very similar. We don't have, of course, the same type of turbulence that you have in an airplane flight, but there are other types of things that could go wrong in a transaction. So, for example, a buyer could get cold feet, or you could have somebody that has a home inspection go awry. You could all of a sudden find out that your buyer didn't disclose certain things to the mortgage broker or to the bank that now makes them no longer qualify for the mortgage. Or perhaps they have some skeletons in their closet, prevents the mortgage from coming together. Now, as you can see, there are a few different things here. Car purchases, maybe to get laid off at the bank, or maybe they just weren't straightforward. Heck, I've even had some people die before they've been able to close their deal. So how do you handle these particular problems? Well, first of all, experience, as I said, plays a very big role. But the other thing that plays a big role is closing insurance. When you list your property with me, I will provide you with a closing insurance policy that will cover you up to $25,000 in losses should your property not close on the day of closing. Now, you have to ask yourself, selling a home, if it's like flying a plane, do you want an experienced pilot or an experienced realtor taking care of it? Or do you want a newbie that takes the risk of crashing that plane and making your transaction unsuccessful? Our goal is to sell your home for the most money in the least amount of time with as little issues as possible. Thank you for watching my presentation. I would ask you now to pick up the phone and call me at 519-624-9222 and say, Walter, we're ready to list our property and we'd like you to come over and give us a market analysis. Thank you for watching.